We are at one of our favorite places, one of our favorite shows to do every year here on the Tee. We are live at Erin Hills. I had somebody even come up to me yesterday. I was playing, you guys are at Erin Hills tomorrow, right? Yeah, we've been teasing it on the show. Thank you for listening. Yes, Stephen Watson, Gabe Neitzel, we are live out at Erin Hills. Enjoyed another Chamber of Commerce day out here. I don't know how Steve Peace and the gang just constantly dial it up for us each and every year. But, I mean, it was an unbelievable day, weather-wise, unbelievable day on the golf course for one of us. It was not me. It was our guy Stephen Watson firing an even par 72, although you were, probably 6 inches from probably having a 73. Because your shot into 18 just barely held onto the ridge before you could just two-putt, make your par, and walk off with your
Sometimes
72.
It's better to be lucky than good. Gabe, what a glorious day at Erin Hills, and not because I played well and golfed my ball. When I pulled into the gates today, I don't know if I should be flattered or embarrassed by the fact that the guy told me to just keep driving because he thought I was an employee here. Because I'm wearing an Erin Hills hat if you're watching on our stream, an Erin Hills shirt, repping the U.S. Women's Open, and he just waved me by, and I was like, "No, I'm playing today." He goes, "Oh, I just thought you were working here."
That's fair, which is fair.
Yeah.
Well, and again, you were here. This is twice in 1 week for you.
Friends
Since we have last done this show, you have now played Erin Hills twice.
Well, okay. I hadn't played since the U.S. Women's Open Media Day before that.
Well,
so,
yeah.
It was a good week for your boy.
But I'm just again, I think anybody in your shoes, had they had the opportunity,
I just needed
to
my
play
practice
Erin
round.
Hills,
My practice round last week, and I could go
so it
play
wasn't as
golf.
good as it was this week.
Not like that, no. I mean, I was happy with how I played last week, but today was special, man. That was a type of golf round that.
But it was just
I don't know if
solid golf.
I'll be able to match that again this year.
You had back-to-back birdies on the front.
Yeah.
And then you made 2 bogeys on the back. That was it. 2 birdies, 2 bogeys, even par 72. Just 14 pars out there today. Home for your boy.
Well, I went out there and I fired a 34 on the front, and I've never been under par on the front 9 here at Erin
really?
Hills. Never.
Okay.
And, go out and I get my favorite thing at the turn bar, chicken salad pretzel roll. If you're out here, it's undefeated combination.
She made sure we had plenty of chicken salad today, too.
I was going to say my friends joke that I'm a member at Erin Hills and, what my membership dues are here. But she gave me a member's service
She most
of
certainly
chicken
did.
salad.
She understood. Again, the guy at the front gate thought you were an employee. Maybe she thought you were an employee out here playing as well, just showing us a good time.
Yeah, it's part of the ambassador program here at Erin Hills. No, hey, she understood the assignment.
Yep.
You enjoyed a nice hefty, serving of
Well, again,
chicken salad
I just
as
assumed
well.
it was because I was with you. So because we ordered our sandwiches together, she figured she needed
I just
to
showed
take
her
care
my
of me.
membership
Yes.
card.
Yeah, just, hey, take care of my guy here,
Gabe,
too.
it's called a tip. But I went out 34 on the front. Never done that before. It's hard to ignore the feelings in your mind.
So we both were keeping score, and we after we had teed off, let's just play a game. And you got hot. I was not playing my best, so I just kind of stopped ignoring the game. I'm just writing down your numbers, but I'm also
cursing my name,
cognizant of not wanting to say anything to you.
Yeah, you know what's funny about that? We've golfed. I know we haven't golfed a lot together this year, but we've golfed together enough to know that you were avoiding me.
Yeah,
and I could feel that energy of you avoiding me, which only made me think about it more.
Okay, so you should have said something.
It's almost like the no-hitter rule. You just got to, hey, Steven, you're putting together a hell of a round today. Go out there and finish this thing up. Instead, you didn't talk to me.
I didn't want
Fortunately,
to.
my guy Joe, on the bag today, did a great job keeping me, the mind off the score. Gabe just ignored me thinking he was helping, but he was actually hurting more.
I guess I don't know what you're supposed to do in that situation because you shot 34.
Yeah,
and again,
I don't know either because that was a new feeling for me.
So I don't want to. I don't want to say anything that's going to mess up that rhythm, that mojo. So I'm going to keep my distance here.
Yeah,
and you kept playing really well.
Yeah. So I mean, my biggest up and down was on 8. That
was a great up and down.
Yeah, 8, the par 4, massive uphill. I had a bad drive, kind of hit it thick through the rough. Had 65 yards. Was able to get up and down and make my 4. Had a nice 2-putt on 9 to go out. And then on 10, after the chicken salad, I think the hands were just so excited for the taste of that chicken salad in the mouth that they got a little whippy. Ended up making bogey on 10, and then responded on 11 with a really nice up and down as well. And it felt like, okay, this might be one of those days. And I think when you start thinking that and you're getting closer to the finishing stretch, this is a golf course where if you get ahead of yourself, you will make that big number. And I was proud of the way that we battled on the back nine.
Okay.
I didn't feel like I was striking the ball as well as I was. Like, the front nine was an out-of-body experience, truly. Ball striking-wise, I don't know if I've ever hit my irons that well.
Every iron shot you hit was at the flag.
Yeah.
Like, it just started there and just did not move. It was just a stripe shot. It was super fun to watch. It was so much fun to watch.
Yeah, it was fun to be a part of. It's one of those, like, we talk about this game being mental all the time. I notice when things get a little off, I think too much about my hand placement on my club.
Okay.
And then you psych yourself out about the club not feeling right in your hands, and then you miss it, right? It might be a pull, it might be a shank, whatever. Today was just kind of one of those, I didn't need a practice swing. You just put the club down and you just swing. And those types of rounds are ones that, like, you're like, man, this would be really fun to try and take this game seriously. But then it humbles you quickly.
What do you – because I know what I think is your best shot of the day. What do you think was your best shot of the day?
My best shot of the day was, because I had breaking par on my mind, was the third shot I hit on 18. It was a ball above my feet, 175-yard third shot. Hit a bad drive, had to lay up. We were playing the green tees, if you're familiar, out here at Erin Hills, which was playing about 6,800 yards, and had a long way in with my third shot on a long, hard par 5. If you know 18 at Erin Hills.
Were you a little nervy on that tee shot? Well, I mean, there's a lot going on the tee shot, and I don't think that kind of helped as you're trying to steer it to go even par.
It got a little slow down the stretch, as it can out here. It's a hard golf course. There was a group that was playing on our hole. That was opposite of us. They had a lack of awareness that can rattle you a little bit on the tee box. And then I just tried to overcook one and swing a little too hard. Pulled it left. It was fine. So I had 170 yards, ball above my feet, to a pin that you don't want to even flirt with, because if you go over that pin, you're down the hill on the backside. See Nelly Korda if you watch the U.S. Women's Open.
Very similar placement to what that pin was Sunday at the Women's Open.
And I knew that the ball was above my feet, and it was going to go right to left. So I aimed. It felt like 50 yards right, and it still maybe wasn't enough. The ball just came out. I hit a perfect 7-iron. It was just up. It landed soft enough that it just checked up before that ridge that takes you off the backside. And just knowing that if that ball goes 6 inches farther, I just ruined potentially shooting even par at Erin Hills, which was obviously on my mind from, let's call it the 11th hole on.
Okay.
And I was just proud of the fact that I put it on the surface, and I felt comfortable about 2-putting, maybe even making a birdie putt on 18 to go out there and break par here at Erin Hills. So I would go with the third shot, just given the fact that it was 170 yards. There was a lot at stake. It was a tough pin placement. That's my shot of the day. I'm curious what you thought was better.
Your first putt on 15. Because that's it's a back right pin, and you're in the left collection area.
Who pissed off Zach Reinking today? The more I'm thinking about some of these pins.
Sunday pins all over the place.
Yeah.
15 is I think I could speak for both of us when I say it's our favorite hole out here.
15 and 12. It's a good debate.
Just so good. It's such a good short little par 4, and it can get away from you quick. But if you, and again, even if you hit 2 good shots like you did, you got to take on some risk at some point. And where the pin was today and where your second shot landed, it was a long leg putt. You got to go up the hill, but you got to kill it just enough, because then it comes sharply downhill and runs out, and it can run away from you. I mean, I'm sure some people have probably putted your putt off the green.
Yep.
But, if you're not careful, you're going to have easily 7-8 feet. Easily 7-8 feet. And you hit yours into gimme range. Like, I thought that was spectacular, and that was, okay, my guy's good. He's keeping this thing even par. He might shoot under par.
Yeah, that was probably my best putt of the day, without question. I will say, if you are a regular listener of this program, you know that my putter and I have not exactly seen eye to eye this summer. We had some fights.
Again,
potential divorce. The discussions were beginning.
I called BS on it at the time, and from what I saw today, again, that's just complete and utter and total BS.
Let me just tell you, we made some love today. We're back, baby. Things are great. Maybe never been better.
And again, we had two really good caddies today that were a lot of fun. When we come out to Erin Hills, obviously we love the golf course. Like first and foremost, I love the golf course. I just love the setting. I've talked about how I grew up 25 minutes away from here. Like you drive down and take a left-hand turn at the BP, and within 3 minutes you're going to be at the movie theater I saw just about every movie I saw in high school. Right? Like that's the movie theater we would always go to. So that's there's like a sense of, hey, this is really close to where I grew up. Pride, but. The caddies here, I've had bad caddy experiences other places.
Yep.
I don't know if I've had one here.
Agreed.
And our guy Joe today did a great job of steering you in when I ignored you. So shout out to Joe for that.
No, ignored is not the right word. You were doing it with the right intentions. I just don't think you understood that, like, I knew what you were doing, so it made me think more. About we got.
Well, I just thought I'd let you and the caddy kind of keep vibing.
We're trying to throw a number out there. No, Joe we got to the rhythm where he was handing me clubs because he knew my numbers. He knew my misses. I'll tell you what.
He knew your misses? How could he know your misses? There weren't any today.
Wow.
I mean, about the only miss you had when you pulled it into the bunker on 13.
Yeah.
But the caddy program out here is fantastic. The hospitality out here is tremendous. I mean, again, we were making the joke about you being a member, but again, just such a friendly staff, whether it's at the halfway house, whether it's somebody who's greeting you as you're walking in the main clubhouse, if you're coming down to the Irish pub, what we're just outside of. That's, to me, what separates Erin Hills and makes it special. I feel like that's what I can't talk about enough when I come here is they know they have something special here, and they know how to preserve it. And even though there's going to be turnover, there's going to be different caddies, there's going to be different people that are going to be greeting you in the pro shop, at the bar, what have you. The way that they train their staff, the way that people treat you while you're here, they understand that it's a special experience, and that's my favorite part about being out
here. And it doesn't happen by accident. I think that's a great point. It's part of the training out here. It's part of the hospitality. I also think it's unique to, just the operation of what we see in golf around the state of Wisconsin. Like, we are so spoiled. We talk about it, feels like weekly on this program, that we have Kohler and we have Sand Valley, some of the greatest destinations, nationwide, worldwide, you could say, for golf and being able to play multiple courses. This is like your boutique golf course. You come here, you're playing 18 holes, maybe you're going to play the Drumlin, maybe you're staying overnight, but they know everything about you, and they want to know everything about you, and they want to see you smile and be happy. And that's not unique to a golf experience. They have that in Kohler. They have that in Sand Valley. It's not a knock on any of those other places. It's just a different operation here because they're focused on your 18 holes that you're playing that day, and maybe it's a couple more on the Kettle Loop or it's over at the Drumlin, but they know that you might not be there overnight. You might just be coming in for that round, and they want to make it a special one. I think that's what definitely separates the vibe out here than some of those other courses that it's an operation, and they're trying to get a lot of people in and out of their courses. They have people coming from all over the world, and it's great to have options when you're trying to pick which of these great golf experiences you want in Wisconsin.
And I'll tell you what, I was here very early this morning. I did Jen, Gabe, and Chewy here because our tee time was relatively early. As cool as it was when you open up the front door and there's a fire going, that hit a little bit different this morning too. When it was a little chill in the air, as it feels like fall has officially arrived. But make sure you're checking out Erin Hills, erinhills.com, 10th ranked course, public course in the nation. Book your tee times for 2026. Maybe book one of the charming overnight accommodations that they have that I still have not done and still need to talk to the staff here about getting done for next year. But we have plenty of other things we need to dive into. The Ryder Cup teams are finalized. We know who's playing for Team USA. We know who's playing for Team Europe. We break down Team USA coming up next on the tee. If you're looking to book your next tee time, golfthebog.com is the place to do it. Steven and I are out there for the ESPN Milwaukee Open every year. We're out there for the Ringer, playing 100 holes, so we know that course very well. You will enjoy it. A unique piece of property just north of Milwaukee. Go to the website, golfthebog.com. Ryder Cup teams, they are finalized, Steven, and it feels like forever ago at this point because in the sports world, a lot has happened in the last week. From the Brewers, Trevor McGill gets injured, Shelby Miller gets injured, Jackson Chourio returns and hits home runs, Micah Parsons gets traded to the Packers. It feels like last Wednesday when the Ryder Cup teams were announced was forever ago. But the biggest drama was, is Keegan going to pick himself? I thought for sure, especially the way he was talking around the Tour Championship, he was going to pick himself. So I was shocked when Keegan came up and said, nope, not going to do it. Picking 6 different guys, I am just going to be the captain, which made me so excited, so thrilled that is the route that he ultimately went with.
He got us good.
He really did.
He got us really good. This is the decision that he made weeks ago, and I think it's the best case scenario for Team USA. Do I think that they're a better team with Keegan Bradley on it? Yes. However, the risks.
I would say no. They're not a better team with him on it.
I'm just saying the player.
Okay.
I'm not saying the dual role. I'm just saying Keegan is one of the top 12 players for Team USA.
Yes, I would agree with that. But you just can't do both. And honestly, after we had played golf with somebody who is kind of familiar with the 2021 Ryder Cup team and saw firsthand the work that Steve Stricker was putting into that team, you can't do both. And again, it seems like anybody who has been associated with a Ryder Cup, like anybody who's – yes, there are fans out there like, oh, yeah, he can do both. But anybody who has actually been associated with a Ryder Cup and knows what goes into being a captain was saying, I don't think he can do it. And I think maybe the influence, hopefully, of somebody who has done it, like Jim Furyk, who's one of the assistant captains, I think that helped of, Keegan, buddy, I know you probably really want to play. But you agreed to be captain. It's just not possible. Because I don't think you can be ready both as a captain and a player. And I think Keegan Bradley made ultimately the right decision.
I'm so tired of hearing about how perfect the camaraderie is for Team Europe and how they have it figured
the Lads
out
Club?
And how perfect Luke Donald is
Closed
as a
door
captain.
Lads Club?
Let me tell you something. I think that this is just the jolt that Team USA Golf needed. They needed somebody who reminded us that it's bigger than the name that's on the back. It's about the name that's on the front. And that's what Keegan Bradley reminded us of by this selfless decision that he was not going to be a playing captain. Because I don't think you'll find a single one of those 12 golfers who cares more about the Ryder Cup than Keegan Bradley. But the fact that he was willing to separate the player and the captain and make this about something bigger than himself is, I think, a reminder of what this event is all about. And just like in 2021, when Team USA went out there and had a historic win at Whistling Straits, it was much more about winning for USA. It was about winning for Steve Stricker. It was about winning for their captain and what this meant to him in Wisconsin. This now is a team that is going to be fired up to win for Keegan because of the decision that he made about his team and putting the belief in those 12 guys to go out there and make him and their country proud, right? Mm-hmm. And that's just something we haven't had in a while. And I think that that's a great reset that Team USA Golf needed in a Ryder Cup that is going to be maybe as competitive as it's ever been in the United States between these two teams with how these teams are stacked. You have a Team Europe that's running it back with the exception of one Højgaard. They just swapped it out. And then you have a Team USA.
Which, did you see a couple of weeks ago how Nicholas and Rasmus Højgaard are basically the same player, too? I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah. It's incredible. The only way you know the difference is that Rasmus has a little bit more lettuce coming off the back of the head.
I saw the side-by-side statistical comparisons. I don't know if you've ever seen these from Data Golf, but it's like, 5 data points.
Yeah.
And the 5 data points are exactly the same for the two of them. Like,
crazy.
The shape of the 5 points is unbelievable. Just absolutely unbelievable how they're basically just the same player.
Truly. And good for Europe that they're going to run it back. That's the goal, right? You want to be able to run the same team back that was successful. Look at how much changed from 2021 to 2023 with Team USA.
That's what I was going to say, because we sat there after 2021 looking at the team going, man, I don't understand how there's going to be turnover on this team. Like, how are you going to get into this team? Like, we love Max Homa. Max, how are you going to get onto this team? Obviously, he eventually did for the 2023 team, but, Dustin Johnson falling off the way that he did, Brooks Koepka, who was a part of the 23 team, but now really not on the radar for these team competitions because he hasn't played well enough in the major championships or during his live season. And yet there ends up being a lot more turnover to these teams year in and year out than you think. So for Team Europe to just have one guy out, and it ends up being the guy's twin brother, is remarkable.
Yeah.
That they were as good as they were in 23, and now they basically are running back the same team. And it wasn't really a reach to keep that team together. Like, it just made complete sense.
Matthew Fitzpatrick was probably the biggest question mark, and to his credit, his second half of his season was incredible. Yeah. He found his form, and
Shane Lowry's been playing the worst.
Yeah,
and
he started off really well this year.
He wasn't going to be left off the team.
Yeah, exactly. But going back to Keegan, I think an important thing to remember about how this all started with Keegan Bradley was about his passion for this event and how he said, publicly many times that he was never going to open his bag from Medina until he won a Ryder Cup. And he reminded us that this is his opportunity to be his legacy. He could be Luke Donald for Team USA, right? Like, this doesn't have to be a one and done for Keegan Bradley. This can be how he is remembered in the game of golf. You remember what Steve Stricker said, emotional on the stage after they won the Ryder Cup?
That was his major.
That was my major. This is what Keegan and his legacy can be for Team USA, is as a captain. Maybe he ends up earning his spot on the roster one day and he's able to separate the two once he now goes through it as a captain and realizes, it's probably too big for me to do both. I think he does have good golf left in him. But for right now, I'm so happy. And I think it's a win for all parties that he doesn't have to deal with the weight of what would come with being a player captain in today's media world and the pressure that this event brings on your home soil, which is essentially a must-win for Team USA. For him to be able to put the team ahead of himself was an unbelievable sign of a leader, and it makes me so fired up for what Keegan is going to present, what these crowds, I think it honestly, it ignited everybody. I think there was a sense of relief from fans, from maybe the PGA of America, maybe even some of those guys in that 12, just knowing that, all right, like, we're going to do this for Keegan just as much as we're going to do this for Team USA, because he deserved to be on this team for how well he played, but he reminded us of this is bigger than the individual.
All right, so my question for you now, we make a lot of the captain's picks. I get excited. I get caught up. You get caught up in the captain's picks. More often than not, the Ryder Cup's going to come down to, okay, is Scottie Scheffler going to play good enough?
Yeah.
Because Scotty's going to be playing 4 or 5 sessions, right? Like, he's going to be the guys that qualified on points, Scotty, Bryson DeChambeau, like, those are the guys that you're going to lean on the most. But we still make a lot of the captain's picks because every once in a while captains can go 2-0-1 or 3-0 or even 4-0 if they get hot and ended up playing in multiple sessions. So my Gruber Lofts' one call, that's all question for you this week. Gruber Lofts' one call, that's all. Make sure you check them out online, gruberlofts.com. Of the 6 captain's picks for Team USA, Sam Burns, Patrick Cantlay, Ben Griffin, Colin Morikawa, Justin Thomas, Cameron Young. Which one ultimately makes the biggest impact for Team USA?
I'm going to go with the guy who's undefeated in singles play in Ryder Cup history, who is now, crazy enough, the veteran of Team USA. Justin Thomas is my Gruber Lofts' one call that's all pick. He's 3-0-0 in singles play. You could argue that he carried Jordan Spieth a lot. I don't think you can make that argument. I think you just make that statement. He's 7-4,
especially in Rome. He was carrying Spieth.
He's 7-4-2. That's his Ryder Cup record. He's undefeated in singles play. I think we found JT has rounded back into form. He's played good enough golf this season. I mean, he's worked himself up to, what was it, number 5 in the official
World Golf
Rankings. I think this is going to be a reminder of the raw talent that Justin Thomas has and the fiery competitor for a guy that wants to be on this Ryder Cup team for another 10 years. So I'll go with JT. How about you?
I think JT is the answer, but I've got my eye on Cameron Young because I think he's somebody who can go out there and make a lot of birdies in the 4-ball. But if you want to play him in foursomes, Bryson's been a tough guy to do with that, right? Like trying to figure out, because Bryson is just so in tune with his equipment. And like I heard there was one podcast I heard throw out there, well, maybe Ben Griffin and Bryson can play alt shot. Like Ben Griffin's playing a Max Fly golf ball. No offense to Max Fly. I'm sure it's a great golf ball, but like, I don't know if that's good enough for Bryson. But Cam Young plays the same golf ball, the Titleist prototype, that Bryson DeChambeau does. And to me, that puts Bryson, who's probably one of your best 2 or 3 players, in play for alternate shot, which is something that he hasn't necessarily been able to do. Because, again, he's just so in tune with his equipment. It's just so hard for him to make those little adjustments to whatever ball you end up playing in that format. So I think that his addition not that they're going to play both sessions of old shot, but maybe you put Bryson in there with one and you're able to pair him up with a Cameron Young. So I think just the addition of him and how that might help unlock more sessions for Bryson, I think could be a big boost for Team USA.
Yeah, I think it's a great point. Cameron Young's knowledge of the golf course, winning the 2017, I believe it's the State Open there. He was the youngest to ever win it as a first-time, amateur to win that New York State Open back in 2017. Top 12 finishes in his final 4 starts. Guy who's trending well. He grew up an hour and a half away. His dad.
Well, and he hits the crap
Sleepy
out of it.
Hollow.
No matter how they set up the golf course, because we don't know if they're going to make it a bomber's paradise and not have the rough up and do all these different things. No matter how they set it up, if they bring the rough in, grow the rough out, like it's a big ballpark. You need to hit it far, and he hits it the farthest out of any of the captains' picks.
Yeah, I love that pick for Cam Young. I was nervous that he was going to be left off, truly, because I didn't see a world where Keegan wasn't on that team. And the more I thought about it with Burns and how he's putt and the fact that he has history, I felt like it was going to be Cameron Young who was potentially left off. And I love that pick. I think he's a guy that is playing for a lot more emotion than most on the 12 on both sides. So I'm here for a good showing from Cameron Young as well.
Yeah, was able to get the monkey off his back in terms of winning on the PGA Tour. That kind of catapults him to be. He's been on the President's Cup before, but this is his first Ryder Cup experience, which I'm really excited for him because I still think when you watch him play and it's going good for him, like he's one of those guys you're like, wait, how do you miss a shot? Like, how does
truly
this swing gets out of? Okay, I guess it does, but he's got a lot of talent, and I'm hoping that this is something for him that can catapult him to that next step and that next level of his career, where he starts competing because he's been in the mix a couple of different times for major championships. It seems like sometimes when the golf gets harder, he's a name that rises more to the top, and I'm hoping that the pressure and dealing with this can help him next year, and we see his name on the front page of the leaderboard more at major championships.
Yeah, as excited as I am about Cam Young is as nervous as I am about Colin Morikawa.
Yeah, he's only playing 3 sessions, right? Maybe 2, because he has to play singles. Put him out 1 time before that, 2 times before that. I'm not sure what they do with Colin. That's to me kind of a big question mark. The struggles that he has had with his putter, and maybe you can mitigate some of that in alt shot and put more irons in his hand because the iron play is still good. But that putter is bulky right now.
Because you figure Xander and Cantlay are going to be together.
Yep.
I mean,
JT's open for a partner.
I think you might see a JT and Scotty Scheffler together.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I think a Burns with a Morikawa could be potential. A guy
like alt shot,
who's one of the best putters on planet Earth, with a guy who has lost his putting ability. I don't know. There's so many different ways.
And
do it.
That's what I'm really curious to see how they kind of put up these. If they go back to the pods, how they end up splitting all that up to try to make these guys more comfortable with one another, and the way everybody plays heading into the Ryder Cup. But we've got to dive into Team Europe because that was finalized earlier this week, as well as the captain's picks were made by Luke Donald. We'll get into those coming up in just a little bit, but I do want to tell you about X Golf inside of American Family Field. You do have that opportunity to go down Bernie's slide. It's simple. All you have to do is just book a tee time, X Golf American Family Field, make a hole-in-one, whether it's during a game, not during a game, but just make a hole-in-one while you're playing a round of golf at X Golf inside American Family Field. You win tickets to a game, plus you and a pal get to go down that iconic Bernie's slide up to 5 times. So what are you waiting for? Book your tee time today. It is open 7 days a week. X Golf inside American Family Field. LakeLawnResort.com is a website you want to keep in mind. Keep that in mind. Why? Well, because our friends at Majestic Oaks, who present On the Tee, have an amazing golf course. It is a fun golf course to play with over 2 miles of lakefront down there in Delavan. You are not going to have a bad time playing golf there. Hospitality through the roof. When we visited, they signed one of the flags of Majestic Oaks for us, which is fantastic. Have that back at the office. And
gosh, that place must be humming today.
Oh, I can't imagine. On a day like today, just those beautiful views of Lake Delavan. But then you can't beat their family fun nights. And you showed me some videos while we were out on the golf course today, Steven. You're getting your daughter into a little bit of that golf. You showed me an interesting, unique club. Maybe we can get into that in a little bit, of the kid club that you have for your daughter, which is awesome. But they've got family golf nights. You get golf cart, drinks, snacks, golf. Under $15 a person. Cannot beat that deal because they know how important the game is. They actually want, when you hear growing the game, like, this is what actually growing the game looks like. That's what they do. LakeLawnResort.com. Book your tee time today with Majestic Oaks.
Man, September golf. Is there anything better in Wisconsin? What's the best month of the year to golf in Wisconsin?
Ooh, that's a great question. September's tough to beat. I mean, June, I feel like, especially if you have a decent enough spring, the golf courses are singing. But, like, and I know we had a rough patch there with the flooding, but if you can't have your golf course singing right now, it has been really great. I mean, Erin Hills was singing to us today. I played Brown Deer on Monday. Brown Deer was in great shape. Like, everything should be pretty premium right now.
I think it's the last week of September.
Because you start getting a little bit of that color change.
The foliage is starting to go. You're gonna have a little light hoodie weather. Maybe you're back in short sleeves, middle of the round. And then you're going to sneak in a day like today, like a mid-70s, down to the low 60s at nighttime. Gosh, this is why we live here, right?
Yeah, So take advantage. Play golf wherever you're a member, wherever you can find a tee time. Make sure you're taking advantage of the great golf in September. All right, Team Europe. No shocks, no surprises. I think by the time that their captain's picks were made, Matt Fitzpatrick ends up being one of those captain's picks. Rasmus Højgaard ends up being one of the captain's picks. Victor Hovland, Shane Lowry, Sepp Straka, all the captain's picks coming in for Luke Donald. Again, no shocks, because it seemed like their team was basically set. I don't know, a handful of months ago, and the only question was, okay, where's that 12th spot going to go to? You could have picked Rasmus's brother, and I think you would have been fine, but Rasmus Højgaard ends up being on the team.
Yeah, I mean, you probably could have picked Nikolai and told him to grow his hair out by September, and you wouldn't know who it was anyway.
Look, I think we need to keep an eye on that. All right, if one of them, because Rasmus was an assistant. Well, I don't know if he was an assistant captain or what his role was, but he was with the team.
He was
in Europe, and I'm just saying, if they both show up, because I'm assuming Nikolai will have a role on this team as well. Much like his brother did back in 23. But if they show up with the same haircut, Luke Donald might be trying a little in WWE, they call it twin magic. When you've got a set of twins, one of them disappears under the ring, the other comes out.
Oh.
Little twin magic could be happening on Team Europe. That I'm just saying, we got to keep our eye out.
Is Neitzel calling for DNA testing on the first tee? All right, I'm here for it.
Fingerprint testing?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a little less invasive, but yeah. Fingerprint analysis anytime you send a Højgaard out. I just want to make sure it's the correct
What
Højgaard.
if Keegan did that just to rattle him on the first tee box? That's the type of edge we need from Team USA.
That would be hilarious.
I mean, I'm looking at their roster, and there's one rookie, and it's Rasmus, right? And this is the strongest road European team that I can recall in quite some time.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't feel great as an American on your home soil when you need to win one.
Some of these guys are living by reputation. Like Ludwig has not been good this year. Ever since he won, you want to talk about guys since he won, and whether that's injury, it hasn't been as good. So I think he was playing better going into 23, or at least maybe he had more hope because he was the young kid who they decided to give a shot to. But he's not playing as well.
He was carried by Hovland. Victor Hovland played out-of-body golf in Rome.
I'll never forget him chipping in that ball in that first hole.
I mean, look at their team right now, Gabe.
But Victor struggled this year, still doesn't necessarily know what his swing is. Talked about Shane Lowry. I think
he shoots 64 and will tell you that he's still struggling.
Yeah.
I don't trust that Hovland's struggling. Lowry is probably the only guy you could tell me is struggling, with the exception of Sepp Straka, just because he was dealing with injuries most of the PGA Tour season.
Well, Sepp was dealing with injuries, and it seems like there's something personal going on as well. That's kind of led to the disappointing finishes for him at the BMW and the Tour Championship. I'm assuming when they put tees in the ground later this month, he'll be further. I don't know. Nobody seems to know what the personal issue is, but he'll be further away from that, and I'm guessing he's going to be closer to fine. But you know who I think the secret, and maybe this little nugget here, maybe this can be the little gem of the week.
Okay.
Here. Little gem of the week for you here.
I don't like when you're doing gem of the weeks for Team Europe.
Let's
go for it.
Well, again, it's a gem for me. Brought to us by our friends at the Jewelry Center, shoptjc.com. Whether you're in the market for diamond engagement rings, watches, repairs, they do it all. Stop in Greenfield, Brookfield, or in Burlington, shoptjc.com for the Jewelry Center. I'm curious how much Team Europe relies on Jon Rahm. He's still a really good player. He's not Jon Rahm of 23. He's not even Jon Rahm of 2021. Remember what a big deal it was that Scotty Scheffler took down Jon Rahm in singles at Whistling Straits 4 years ago?
Yeah.
He's not the same Jon Rahm that he has been on the last two European teams. He's not playing like that Jon Rahm, and if that Jon Rahm doesn't show up, this European team is weaker because he has been a stalwart and somebody that you can throw out there for 4 or 5 sessions and not have to worry about.
I appreciate that being your gem of the week. I would counter by saying I don't think he needs to be that Jon Rahm, though, with this team. This team is so deep.
You need to have studs.
This isn't the Tommy Fleetwood that we saw in 23 or 21. This is not the...
No, it's the same Tommy Fleetwood. Robert
McIntyre was...
Robert McIntyre
has gotten
I'll buy.
better.
But this Tommy Fleetwood is the same Tommy Fleetwood I've seen in the Ryder Cup, like, for how long at this point?
Yeah.
Like, this is the Tommy Fleetwood that's been breaking my heart at the Ryder Cup. It's now finally just starting to show itself during stroke play instead of just saving it for match play every other year.
I hate rooting for him, but he's so cool. He's great hair, good smile.
We hate him.
Good attitude.
Hate him. Bad attitude. It's the worst.
I mean, Justin Rose is playing like the best golf of his life right now.
He's a little hot or cold. Because honestly, after the Masters,
he's a fiery, passionate Ryder Cupper.
But he's. I mean, at this point, he's a problem because he could be playing terrible golf, but he's the guy that I know is always going to come in and be ready for a Ryder Cup.
I'm curious for your opinion on this. Golf Digest shared a screenshot on social media of Team Europe reacting to their captain's pick. Team USA reacting to their captain's pick. The Team USA one, everybody had a just mouth shut, bland look on their face. Mm-hmm. The Team Europe one, everybody's laughing and smiling. You can make a screenshot of anything and create your own narrative. But do you believe that that screenshot that was chosen for both of these teams is kind of where we're at right now?
I think that Team Europe will always have more camaraderie. No matter what. Because even though Team USA ended up being very tight in 21, winning this event by the widest margin ever, like I would say it still means more to Team Europe. I think they bond over that. Like Rory McIlroy was in tears in 2021 because he felt like he let his team down.
Matt Wallace was in tears, when he was left off the team, talking about how that's still his career goal is to be on a Ryder Cup team.
And so the Ryder Cup, I think, is always going to be more important to Europeans. I don't know how you address that. I don't know if it gets fixed. I don't even know if it's a problem that needs to be fixed. But I think that is just a statement of fact that is going to be really hard to change. I think when they have things like this, they're going to embrace him more. And when Patrick Cantlay is told he has to go on a Zoom call so he can jump on Golf Channel and discuss him being in the Ryder Cup, he doesn't want to do it.
Yeah.
But do I think that's going to preclude Patrick Cantlay from playing great golf at Bethpage Black? No, I do not. I absolutely do not.
So I kind of liked the dog look on Team USA.
Okay.
I'm kind of here for the intensity. I think that they are going to take on the personality of their captain, and I think we're going to see a laser focused Team USA. I'm fine with it. they can have their little lads club over there in Europe, but we got some dogs in America.
I think that when you start putting tees in the ground, Team USA is going to be ready. And honestly, you talked about it a little bit earlier, Stephen, about how, Team USA in 2021 really rallied around Steve Stricker.
Yeah.
And I think Keegan Bradley can be that type of captain, especially after he didn't pick himself. Hey, he could have picked himself. Some of us told him to pick himself. Hey, let's make sure we go out there and win this for Keegan. All right? This guy deserves this. He's putting a lot of work. Let's go get it for this guy.
Yep.
I don't feel that. I didn't have that feeling about Zach Johnson.
No. I mean, you've mentioned, like, it was unprecedented. Even just having this debate during the entire PGA Tour season and riding the highs and lows that came with it, I mean, it created great conversation. I love that Keegan played us. I think it's awesome. I think it's a reminder of, like, we don't know anything, man.
It's the first time I was hanging on every word of the selections on Golf Channel.
I was out here at Erin Hills watching on my phone, hanging on every word.
Yeah. Because Keegan gave us, again, this is entertainment, man.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, this is also entertainment, and he made us care more. That was just smart play, I think, by Keegan Bradley. If you want to play some great golf, do what Stephen and I did. Join at the Wisconsin Country Club. Great golf course, great practice facility, great, you don't have to worry about food and beverage minimums. There's no assessments, but also we've got pickleball, tennis, pool, all those great things. Check out the website, wisconsincountryclub.com. It's just a fairway away. Stephen did pull out an interesting golf club that he was using at the Wisconsin. Well, not him, but somebody else that's close to him was using at the Wisconsin Country Club. We'll dive into that coming up next on the tee. Wrapping up on the tee, Gabe, Neitzel, Stephen Watson, just enjoying a beautiful day at Erin Hills, one of our favorite places. But you got to enjoy some family time golf.
Yeah.
And I think there should be more people aware of the golf club that you forgot you had in your bag and then became a favorite thing for our caddies to take out and try to figure out how to hit a ball with it while we were waiting on a couple of tee boxes. But more people need to know about this because I think it's great for kids for guys and families who want their kids to start golfing and are struggling to find their kids' clubs.
Well, let me tell you about my Instagram algorithm right now, Gabe. It is golf,
yep,
kids, and dogs.
Okay.
That's about.
It's a pretty good combo.
Yeah, that's my life, man. Golf / sports, kids stuff because they hear my kids talking, and any conversation I have with my wife, my phone listens. And then I have a golden retriever who I love dearly. So a company called Lagshot started popping up all the time in my Instagram, and I was like, you know what, this seems like kind of the perfect little thing. It's a whippy technology in the shaft of the club, so instead of it being a steel or a graphite shaft, it's actually kind of like a rubbery whipping technology, and it's designed for seniors and juniors. So if you can't generate that club head speed, essentially the club shaft will catch up the club face to your swing speed and allows you to hit the ball a little bit farther. And I saw it, and it was advertised for young kids, golf. It was a perfect combo. I was the target audience for said club, Gabe. And what did I do? I bought it for my daughter. And we went out there, and we've hit, like, the plastic clubs in the backyard. And we've putt, on the putting green we have in the basement. But the joy on her face when she could put a ball on a tee, which for a kid, like that is more fun than swinging the club, is actually putting a tee in the ground, putting a ball on the tee, and the joy that brings a 3-year-old is, a good reminder of how these monsters find joy. But her swinging and hitting a ball off the tee and seeing the ball go forward, didn't matter if it went up, down, but see a ball go forward was so fun for me, like watching my daughter find joy in something that I find so much joy in. And then my son was like sitting in the ball bucket at the range, like throwing golf balls at her, and then she put it on the tee. It was like the perfect little triangle, and I was trying to give her lessons. And this Lagshot club is great. It's 22 inches long, and it's perfect for her at her age right now, and my son will use it eventually. And I forgot that I left it in my bag because when I put it in my golf bag, it sinks all the way to the bottom. And all of a sudden, I was reaching in my bag, and I saw it, and I gave it to my caddy, and shout out to Joe. Joe spent the entire round
trying to figure out how to hit a shot with it.
Because as a caddy, you're not allowed to, like, point on the ground with the with the club and show you where the line is. He was using the lag shot club as like kind of the direction because it wasn't one of my clubs. So no, they had a lot of fun with it. But highly recommended if you have young kids and you want to get them into the game. This lag shot club. Shout out to them. They were great to work with, getting me the right size for my daughter. We had a lot of fun.
Big shout out to everybody here at Erin Hills. We love it. John Morissette, Jim Lombardo, our guy Steve Peace for having us out here. We love it every year. We love that they're a partner. Hopefully you get to check them out as well, erinhills.com. We'll be back again next week. Well, I will. Steven won't be. Actually, first time. Is this the first time you've ever missed a show?
Yeah.
I don't know if maybe you missed one.
I got COVID one time.
Yeah, I think
back
maybe
in
you missed
2021.
one. Yeah, maybe you missed one. But I've definitely missed more shows. Steven,
what are you going to do